Hello everybody, welcome to my first ever Dear Esther playthrough. Never played this before, seems like well, I've heard loads of good things about it, so thought I'd give it a shot. Why not? Let's get chatbot sorted. Get on chatbot, wakey wakey. Landmark edition, eh? I think we should start now. Wait, what? Yeah, we'll have director's commentary. Why not? Saves me reading shit out. I won't be talking as much through it with the director's commentary, but then at least it will point stuff out and explain stuff and it'll talk anyway, so would be a lot better than me trying to direct it. But yeah. Let's go. Oh, I can move.
Hello everyone, I'm Dan Pinchbeck, I'm the creative director of the Chinese Room, and this is the Dear Esther developers commentary.
Hi, I'm Robert Briscoe, I'm the artist on Dear Esther.
And I'm Jessica Curry, and I was the composer on the game.
So what you're looking at today is a remake of a mod. Dear Esther started off in 2007 as a Half-Life 2 mod that did really, really well in the modding community, which was fantastic, and as a result of that attracted the attention of Rob, who worked as the primary developer on a Source remake of the game that was released in 2012. And this year is another remake where it's been updated for a cross-platform release, and we wanted to add in this developer's commentary just to give you a bit more of an insight into some of the ideas behind the game as it came together.
Okay, that's cool.
Hello everyone, I'm Dan Pinchbeck, I'm the creative director of the Chinese Room, and this is the Dear Esther developers commentary.
Hi, I'm Robert Briscoe, I'm the artist on Dear Esther.
So
and I'm Jessica Curry,
that
and
also
I
zooms.
was the composer on the game.
That also zooms.
So what you're looking at today is a remake of a
Every
remake
button
of a
zooms,
mod.
apparently.
Dear Esther started off in 2007 as a Half-Life 2 mod that did...
Okay, no, I'm going to exit this and turn the director's bit off because I think there's going to be a bit too much. There we go, it's reloading. I think there'll be a bit too much talking with that bit. I thought...
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
Well done. A bit brutal. Yeah, I might do a director's playthrough after, like, I'll say after, do a director's commentary one afterwards. so everyone can hear all the thoughts and everything that went into it and that. But this one I'll just play through with the normal playthrough at the moment. Nice. Music notes? Yeah. Sure. Because why not? Up the hill or along the beach. Up the hill or along the beach. Let's go along the beach. For now. Really good atmosphere to this game. It's amazing that this just started out as a mod though. A mod for Half-Life and then got bigger and bigger. But then again, a lot of the best games out there, I say best games, but a lot of decent games out there just start off as like a little thought of a mod or something like that.
There was once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
I'm gonna go up here. Looks like the sort of place I'd go for a walk when I'm on holiday. I mean, I'm just going off of that. If this is a little island, then it's not the sort of place I'd go for a walk when I'm on holiday, because I don't go to little islands.
Reading Donnelly by the weak afternoon sunlight, he landed on the south side of the island, followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side. I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend. But then, he didn't have my reasons.
So I don't know if I should have carried on along the beaches, but never know, maybe we'll find another way down and can go onto the beaches again.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Mind you, it looks like the beach just goes onto those rocks and stops anyway. Oh, hello. What we got down here?
I quote directly, "A motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most God-forsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
Might have done.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Let's go look in a dark cave. That's always a good idea. Hello, James. Didn't take long to download.
I threw my arms wide and the cliff opened out before me, making this rough home. I transferred my belongings from the bothy on the mount and tried to live here instead. It was cold at night and the sea lapped at the entrance at high tide. To climb the peak, I must first venture even deeper into the veins of the island, where the signals are blocked altogether. Only then will I understand them, when I stand on the summit and they flow into me, uncorrupted.
It's odd. Strange drawings on the walls. This is about something I have no idea whatsoever. I've just been told it's a brilliant game, and I thought I'd give it a go. So far, I appeared where that lighthouse is. You can see there. I appeared next to it on the floor. There's a narrator which narrates in the background that I've got on. So when he talks, I usually stop just so it doesn't skip anything, and then you get to hear what he says. And that's it. I've walked around. He narrated a little bit about being in isolation on the island and keeping people away or something. So I don't know if it's the person I'm playing as, or it's somebody. This is somebody following in his footsteps. It's a really nice looking game though.
The vegetation here has fossilized from the roots up. To think they once grazed animals here, the remnants of occupation being evidence to that. It is all sick to death. The water is too polluted for the fish, the sky is too thin for the birds, and the soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard it said that human ashes make great fertilizer, that we could sow a forest from all that is left of your hips and ribcage, with enough left over to thicken the air and repopulate the bay.
That's a nice thing to say. It's kind of brutal, really. It's got an eerie feel when you walk around on here, like you're constantly being watched. Chemistry. So that's where walking along the beach would have come up then, so that's fair enough. Stem circle, yeah. Weird. Possibly. Could be something to do with witchcraft. Oh. That's a really good opening to this game, though. Donnelly.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome break services, but although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
What a really good game this is. Even though all I'm doing is, like, every button just makes you zoom in. That's literally, I just pushed every button and it just makes you zoom. Obviously, apart from options, which pauses it. you can look around and walk. And even though all you can do is that, with the story and that and the atmosphere, it's just making me keep going because I just want to know more. Yeah. Oh, hello. We have a blinky light. And a boat. Oh, what's left of the boat. Where do we go? Down to the boat or towards the blinky light? Including some investigation of some disappearance. Yeah, possibly, yeah. I'm going to head down to the boat. I can get to the light anyway. Looks like there's a path leading the way over there, so I can keep going that way. That's pretty decent sound design. I like that. Let's go to the other end of it and have a look down the front. Take it they just hit some rocks and then got swept ashore here. Although the boat doesn't... I wonder if they'll explain why everything looks deserted. I mean, it says that they used to herd sheep here, but it was sickly, like there was some disease on the island. If I say sheep, herd cattle, it says. So it's either the people that were on these boats, there's another boat there, I saw a boat earlier. It's either that the people that were on these boats and that were on the island and they all died on the island through this disease, or the diseased people, and that was from I have no idea what that says. Eat, no drink. Eat nor drink. Oh, okay.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Must be a hole in the bottom of the... That's just raises questions. The fuck? I'm gonna go around up the top up there because it doesn't actually look like it leads anywhere. It looks like it stopped. Oh no, it goes up. Oh, that's back to where I was. So yeah, it looks like it goes along and then stops. So I'm gonna walk up there, see if he says anything. Then I'll go that way because I take that's the way I'm gonna have to wander in a minute. I'm absolutely loving the atmosphere on this game though. You do feel like you're walking around and you're being watched at the moment though. It doesn't feel horror or anything like that to me right now. It just... I don't know, you don't feel like you're alone. In some senses. You kind of feel like you are on your own, but you feel like you're not alone in the sense you like somebody's watching you or something, or keeping an eye on you. I do want to know where everyone is though. Oh, that's the front of the boat. Well, the other end was. Not bad. Well, there's power up there.
All night the boy has kept me lucid. I sat when I was at the very edge of despair, when I thought I would never unlock the secret of the island. I sat at the edge, and I watched the idiot boy blink through the night. He's mute, and he is retarded, and he has no thought in his metal head but to blink each wave and each minute aside until the morning comes and renders him blind as well as deaf-mute. In many ways, we have much in common.
He was talking about that boy out there then. Here's a twist, something to think about. I wonder if the narration is the island. In a weird way, how it would work. Like, it says he watched that blink away. It says about people used to herd sheep here, herd cattle here and that. Could be on about the actual island itself, possibly. It's on about hermits arriving and shit like that. And fucked up boats, apparently. When I look at that, it gives me a Tomb Raider vibe. There's a fence in front of me, apparently. An exhaust.
I had
makes
kidney
sense as there's
stones,
part of
and
them.
you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Ooh, I wonder if this could be someone's imagination then. All in someone's head. Dunno. Lots and lots of questions and theories. Let's go down. Oh, is that a hole? Oh yeah, it is.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
What's quite funny is I've seen a hole exactly like that down in Cornwall. I went down there on holiday once and was riding a push bike, and then I stopped. I went on holiday with a friend, and we was both stood looking over into a hole like that, right next to the sea. Well, that was closer to the sea than that is. There's the house.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
I reckon this could be in someone's head. One second. Sorry about that. Do-do-do-do-do. Love the music.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalised into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Or perhaps the person narrating, as in what he's talked about, is the last person with the disease. This is what he's seen, this is what he's walking around, and he's got the disease, and this is what's left of his island and the people he knew. Splatters on the walls.
Three cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. This house built of stone, built by a long dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
Be a hell of a view to wake up to every morning, wouldn't it? Obviously, if it was nice and people and not deserted in a fucked up house. Waking up and seeing that every morning. The fuck? Did you all just see that? Or am I seeing things? What is that? I don't know. Don't know if I'm seeing things or whether it looked like there was somebody holding a torch or something walking in that cave over there. Okay, now this game's starting to feel a bit more creepy, if that was what I just saw.
What to make of Donnelly, the laudanum and the syphilis? It is clearly not how he began, but I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast.
This is a really good game, though. I'm loving this. Does very much remind me of being somewhere in like the friggin' southern England. Actually, no, I'd say it reminds me more of being somewhere like shores of Wales or something. There is, can't say that.
They
Moss
found
Castle was
Jakobsen
quite
in
nice.
early spring.
Reminded me a little bit of this
Thor
sort of
had only
surrounding.
just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
That's a burial one. That was someone's ashes. Oh, I can walk in the water then. I don't really want to go in any further than that, just in case. Oh, that's something I could have missed if I didn't walk back up here. I have to re-watch the footage if I don't finish this game today, or even if I do, I'm going to have to re-watch the footage I just done that a bit and see if there was somebody in that cave. I thought I saw something move, but it's one of those with the textures as you're moving around and that, and everything's like shining and. What was this a longboat? I think it was. You keep thinking you see things. Like earlier on, I thought a rock was a person, but it's a bloody rock. So yeah, I'll have to go back through and look. But there's a cave just there, I think it is.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, wintered tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Okay, there's a light in the tunnel and I'm hearing some freaky ass fucking noises. Great, let's go. Dear Esther. Possibly. I've got to look through my footage though, because back out there's a cave as you walk around the cliff, and I walk past and I keep thinking I see things anyway because obviously the art style and that. And I zoomed in like that as I walked past, and it looked like there was well, it just looked like a black figure, but it was in a cave holding a torch walking along. But I don't know if I did see it or whether it was just lighting as I was walking past. Jacobson! Take that, Mabby. Oh.
Did Jakobsen crawl this far? Can I identify the scratches his nails ruined into the rocks? Am I following him cell for cell, inch for inch? Why did he turn back on himself and not carry through to the ascent?
Where's that random candle? Oh, there's a torch here. Smashed. I wonder if that's my torch now gone or whether that's someone else's. This is a gorgeous cave though. Right, I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'll be back shortly, people. I am back. Let's continue. That pause there actually looks like a loading screen to a game. Or a menu screen. That background and that pause.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
Chemistry stuff, which is weird. Mind you, it goes with that chemistry book we found. Very interesting game this is. Random candles. That is gorgeous. Look at that. I don't know where to go but go for a swim, so let's go. Oh, that's bright. Oh yeah. Woo! Brightness. Oh no, that's where I came out when you go, wasn't it? There we go. I'm still looking to see if I did see something earlier in the cave. Warm up at a candle. Oh yeah. I'd use a candle for warmth if I had nothing else. Screw it. Time to crawl.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
Paper boat. It's a little paper boat. Did that float all the way down, or did that catch it? No, it floated all the way down. That came from over there. I'm going to walk around and have a look. I think that's where I've got to go, so that's leading up and out, but I'm going to stay down and have a little look around. More spookiness. It's I don't know if you could call it spooky. The weirdest thing I've had so far is that I think I saw somebody in a cave, but I don't know if I did, because with the way this lighting is and that you're walking around, you keep thinking you see things all the time all over the place anyway. So I might have just seen something flicker and move, like a flicker, and as I was moving it made it look like it was moving, but I can't be certain. Yeah. Can't go wrong. Oh. I'll go back through the water the upside down. That is beautiful. It's something to do with chemistry on here, because there was a chemistry book we found, and like that there's all stuff to do with chemistry. I don't know a thing about chemistry really, so it's baffling to me. But yeah, I've never played this before, and it's really intriguing. I got the guy narrating in the background. Oh, sorry about that. I'll go up there in a minute, because I take that's where I've got to go. I'm going to stay down and go down this side of the river to see if I get anything. As in any dialogue. I'm going to have to watch my footage back through to see if I did see something earlier, because it's bugging me and I want to know if I saw something. Same thing leads to a dead end. Wait, is that a paper boat? Oh, there's loads of paper boats. Oh. Wait, they got notes wrote on them, like they're all messages. Yeah, they're all messages. Oh, there we go. There's one of the chemist things I was on about. So I would say there is somebody else on here somewhere then, because why else would a boat just randomly float down the river? That's where I came out of, so I'm going to go around and go up. paints in again. More stuff on the wall. Whoa. The fuck? That's weird. Oh look, more stuff on the wall.
When I was coming round from the operation, I remember the light they shone in my eyes to check for pupil contraction. It was like staring up at a moonlit sky from the bottom of a well. People moved at the summit, but I could not tell if you were one of them.
Huh. That's cool. I'm really intrigued as to what the story of this is. Okay, now it's just getting crazy. Barely read that. I guess that says dangerous. No. Is that Patrick? I don't know. Behold, or behold, something, and this is just absolute. This actually kind of reminds me of Halo 1 when you go to where you first find the flood and there's dead grunts everywhere and blue blood all over the place. That's what this was reminding me of. Oh, it's probably chemistry shit, that's why I can't read it. I mean, this is all chemistry stuff, I mean the words. From being a city, okay. Can't quite well being a pumper's crap? I don't know. Oh, I can't read that, it's too, I don't know, messy. Oh. I thought I could walk round, but apparently not. Oh. Wait, what? Okay, that was bizarre. Right, let's have a look up here. Really bizarre that was. Loading into the next bit. Esther. I love the art and the atmosphere of this. It's really good. Well, we have a tent.
I wish I could have known Donnelly in this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
I like the music in this. This is good. Such a simple game, but it's... Oh, hello. Look on the point there. Is that someone? Looks like it. That is. I would say that's someone there.
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash. Half of it fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery. But the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer.
I did see someone in that cave.
Bed. It was never intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman. I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
There's somebody stood up there. Well, there's either somebody stood up there or it's imagination, because I'm kind of thinking that's what this is all about. He's imagining things. Or it's a memory or something like that. Eh? Okay. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see that is definitely somebody stood there. Alright. I am not alone. Or I am, and it's my madness, and that's me seeing things, but still. Bit unnerving, somebody just stood up there watching me though. That's a bit weird. And that means nothing to me. Does do someone there, or is it turn into a little kid or something? I don't know. Let's go in this cave, see what we've got in here. So is that a picture of some weird thing? Person. We have parts of a car. Something to do with a car accident. So I wonder if this is someone's imagination. They had a car accident, they're remembering either something in the past or... I don't know.
There were chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hands shook. He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision for the peddling of antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and whole new compounds would be summoned into activity.
Like from heaven. Okay. That was freaking... Kissing a madness done all. Right. Oh. What was that? You throwing stuff at me?
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic. And I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
So that's why we have been seeing those boats. I take it it's supposed to be some of these. Or it is these and it's a double. Like you see them there, you see them here. But yeah, I can't read none of that. Light from heaven shone around underneath. Grab a key. Cuckoo, cuckoo. I'll go up here now. Oh wait, we're walking up to where that personal apparition was. Not 100% sure, 100% saying it was somebody there, right there on that peak. Because judging from all the shit that's going on, I reckon it might be imagination. It's just...
A sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal as I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, all my mind as a bypass.
Small railways, mining one this is. Yeah. Old mining cart. Southwest Western Mare M5. Grey motorway, not. Weird markings there. This is all very strange. Low up ahead. There. Still there. Don't move. I'm coming to say hello. Oh. Don't know if I can get to him. There's no pathway that leads up there. See if I can go around it up there and see if I can get to him this way then. Oh yeah. This game's good. Very good.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fibre, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Little shit run off. Told him to wait 'cause I wanted to see him, but no. Her, him. Weird. I just thought of some games that I can stream as well. The Portal games. Portal 1 and 2 is great fun. Deal.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
This is so weird. I mean, it's good, but it's so weird. For the fact that this just started out as a mod and it's come along like this, and that, it is absolutely astonishing, because this game, as...
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sanford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
Yeah, for the fact this game started out just as a mod and then like grew from there, it is absolutely astonishing, because it is brilliant. This looks like an old World War II bunker. It's where they'd have the cannon on rotates. And I mean, it's aged really well as well, because I think this game's been out for a good few years, and quite a few years actually. And it looks gorgeous. Whoa, almost walked off that. Don't really want to be doing that, do we, people? Keep making our way up to this blinky lights, the only place of electricity we've seen so far.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus. Paul sat at the roadside, hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull, as useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
Sounds a bit angry, doesn't he? Oh. Oh. Stay there, let me come talk to you. Don't move. You're gonna move. He's gonna move. I'm gonna get round up here and he's gonna be gone.
Leave twin vapor trails in the air. White lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland. where help will be sent.
Oh. Okay, we're suddenly a seagull. What was with the person I could see?
Come back.
That was weird, but really good. I mean, I still got a lot of questions because some of it still made no sense. I take it was on about that must have been somewhere where they all went. There must have been a car accident or something, and because that's what it sounds like, that there was a car accident and he lost 2 people and he survived, and yeah, it's weird. Yeah, that was a good game, really good. The atmosphere that they give you, the sound design, the art style, all of that was brilliant. The narration behind it was really good. Well, that was quite short, but it was still a really good game. yeah, I enjoyed that. It was weird. Did have a kind of a creepy vibe to it, like the fact that you're walking around, and I now know, obviously, I did see that person in the background. But, yeah, I enjoyed that. I like that. That was good. That was really good. Yeah. Right. As always, thank you very, very much for watching. It's much appreciated. I do have a YouTube. It's Spudy Space 002, so go check that out if you want to see any of my other videos. And if you're just on Twitch, you don't use YouTube, then chuck me a follow and keep an eye out for the stuff that I do on here. If anybody wants me to specifically check out a game and you'd like to see me stream it, then drop me a whisper on Twitch or leave a comment on YouTube or something, and I shall take a look. But other than that, thank you very, very much, and I shall hopefully catch you next time. Bye.